Hey guys, welcome back to another cryptocurrency news article, but this one isn't crypto related because it's on the FedNow service that is coming in July. And you may be asking, what is it? What does it do? Well, this article is going to go over it, and you're also questioning, like, why do all of us crypto people keep forewarning about this? So, yep, let's buckle up and learn a little bit more. So on March 15th, the Federal Reserve announced that the FedNow service will launch in July of 2023. FedNow will facilitate nationwide reach of its instant payment services by financial institutions, regardless of the size or geographical location. It's going to be around the clock every day of the year. But what exactly is the FedNow service and what does it do? In this article, we will describe FedNow at a high level, offer answers to common and anticipated questions about the service, and explain how it will support the provisions of instant payment services in the United States. So it is a new and different payment rail. At its core, FedNow is an interbank of instant payment infrastructure. Banks, credit unions, and other eligible institutions have accounts at the Federal Reserve. These Fed accounts allow institutions to hold reserves. Banks pay each other by transferring reserves from the paying bank's Fed account to the receiving bank's Fed account using several interbank payment options. FedNow is a new addition to the suite of options to make such transfers. Now, what differentiates FedNow from other payment rails is that it is specifically designed to support instant retail payments. With such payments in mind, FedNow's most important feature is that it will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year round. Kind of sounds like crypto and blockchain as it is, right? So, yeah, this is the government getting in on it, and it's something that they can control. So with FedNow, financial institution will be able to clear and settle retail payments instantly at any time, including nights and weekends. Still, FedNow shares some characteristics with existing payment systems. It is an interbank system like ACH and FedWire. In addition, FedNow, like FedWire, but in contrast to ACH, will be a real-time gross settlement system. This means that every transaction of FedNow will be processed in real time whenever the paying bank chooses to send the payment and settled on a gross basis, payment by payment, rather than periodically settling several payments in a batch. Now, will retail customers get to use FedNow directly? The short answer is no, at least not directly. Instead, FedNow will support instant payment services to which individuals will have access through their financial institutions. Now, if these institutions adopt FedNow, banks and credit unions that offer retail payment services will be able to use FedNow to clear and settle retail transactions and instantly make funds available to both merchants and customers. So a way for them to keep an eye on the people. So yeah, it's not going to go directly to the people, but hey, everyone really does have a bank account. This is how we're going to get them. Now, supporting instant retail payments. If the banks can't already use an effective RTGS system like FedWire to settle their payments, why is it necessary to build a new system? The answer is that the existing interbank payment system in the United States are not well suited to support instant retail payments. The goal of an instant retail payment system is to allow consumers and businesses to transfer funds at any time from anywhere, and for these funds to be available to the recipient immediately. Imagine that Alice has lost her wallet and needs cash to take a taxi back home late on a Saturday night. With a phone and an instant payment service app available, Bob would be able to send Alice or the taxi driver funds immediately from across the country, and these funds would be available to pay for the taxi ride right away. And kind of like, again, the blockchain system. You have a public address, you can send funds there instantaneously, and it'll get there anywhere in the world. Now, the connection between an interbank payment system and an instant retail payment system, the FedNow service, may not be immediately obvious. So let's break down what happens in the example above. For Bob to send Alice cash with an interbank payment system, Bob needs to instruct his bank to debit his account. Bob's bank needs to send cash to Alice's bank, and Alice's bank must credit her account. If Alice and Bob don't have the same bank, any fund transfers between them requires an interbank transfer. So in principle, Alice's bank could agree to extend an advance to Bob's bank. This will allow the transfer between Bob and Alice to occur even if the transfer between their banks is delayed. However, doing so creates an interbank exposure that would need to be settled later. If the instant payment usage grows enough, such interbank exposures could become large, and managing the risk they create could be complex and costly. Now, this risk is eliminated if Bob's bank can settle its obligations to Alice's bank in real time and with Alice's bank's credits her account, since individuals may have the need to send each other funds at any time, including late on weeknights. As in our example, eliminating the risk that could arise from the resulting interbank exposure requires banks to have the ability to clear and settle transactions and also make funds available all within seconds at any time, and FedNow will do that. Now, where does the FedWire stand? Well, couldn't FedWire fund service hours of operations have been extended to allow its support for instant retail payments? There are several reasons why this would not have been practical, but let us focus on one. Systems that operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year need to be updated from time to time, and without service interruption, the technology that supports FedWire is not designed to do that effectively. FedWire's technology updates typically happen on weekends when the service is not operating. FedNow, by contrast, is built to make the service upgradable without needing to shut it down. FedNow will not replace FedWire, and FedNow is meant to support instant retail payments with a maximum value of $500,000. And in most cases, financial institutions needing to make large dollar denominated RTGS transfers will continue to use the FedWire fund service. Now, to sum this all up, FedNow is a new interbank RTGS payment system that will support instant clearing and settling of retail transactions. Individuals will not have access to the FedNow directly, but instead will have access to instant payment services offered by their financial institutions. So maybe those guys will have their own CBDC that they can track and use the system with, right? JP Morgan has their own coin. FedNow will allow participating institutions to transfer funds between their customers and provide immediate availability without acquiring credit exposure. Because of their speed and convenience, instant payments, whether between individuals or between a business and a customer, are expected to grow in the United States as they have grown abroad. With FedNow, the Federal Reserve is supporting the growth of this segment of the payment industry. So that's pretty much what the FedNow system is, and another payment system that's going to be used for the banks out there. And again, the banks will probably have their own personal CBDC depending on the institution and whatnot. And yeah, so that's how people will get exposure to it. But again, this is being built for the banks, and then eventually it'll go to the people in their own way. But yeah, this is coming in July. That's only a few days away. So when it comes, now you know a little bit more about it. And if you guys did enjoy this article read through, smash that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, the Crypto Sherpa is out.